Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Today I'm going to review a collection of short stories by Andrei Platonov entitled The Fierce and Beautiful World. It's a collection of 7 short stories by a lesser known Russian writer of the 20th century, whom I discovered through reading the Penguin Classics 20th Century Russian Writers volume, which is full of wonderful gems. Um, but one of the gems, perhaps the one that stood out to me most, was a short story by Platonov, um, which is featured in this volume. It's called The Potadan River. Um, it's one of the longer short stories. I don't know what, it's The Potadan River is only about 30 pages, and it's a wonderful, um, mesmerizing sort of love story that you really can't compare to anything else, in that it's set in the trying circumstances of the post-Russian Revolution, uh, with the extreme poverty and famines and so on that that country had suffered through in that time. Um, the title of the volume, "The Fierce and Beautiful World," is drawn from the last of the short stories featured in this volume. Now, the stories in this volume are all united in the sense that they all express um, Platonov's his great difficulty in coming to grips with the world and the Soviet world. Um, he was ambivalent towards the Russian Revolution. He wasn't an implacable opponent of it, as was, say, Solzhenitsyn through most of his mature life. He saw the good and the bad in it, and he understood. I mean, he certainly understood its design to help the lower class, but of course was very much aware of the suffering that it brought about, whether he call that sort of accidentally or intentionally, on the Russian people. Um, I'm drawn to Platonov in the sense of his seriousness, his sobriety, uh, his ability to make this difficult context come alive. He doesn't. Um, he's very economical in his words, and but nevertheless portrays a very believable story. Um, and they're all marred, or I shouldn't say they're marred. They're all they're all set in the context of the difficulties of 20th century Russian life under the communists. The Potadan River is a sort of love story. The Homecoming is a story about a Russian soldier coming back from World War II and seeing the effects that the war has had on his family, his wife, and his children. And it's kind of a beautiful sort of redemptive story of redemption, I suppose. Um, the Zan is a story about the plight of a southern Russian people, um, in the areas of, Azerbaijan or Turkmenistan or some place like that. Um, the sufferings that the that were a part of the life of the people of the time, and indeed this people was basically starving to death. You know, previously a shepherding, goat herding people, semi-nomadic people, right between the two worlds of Russia and um, the Muslim world to the south. Um, so it's a grim story I mean, all of his short stories certainly have that element of grimness to them. Um, they're not happy stories. None of them are happy stories, but they are compelling. Um, anyway, they're very they you take their serious works, and Platonov's writing style um, is lends to a very believable, very powerful presentation of this very difficult situation. The in one of the other stories is of the titular "The Fierce and Beautiful World" is a story of basically a retired um, locomotive engineer and his daughter, and sort of these amazing, it offers amazing glimpses into the world of everyday Russian people, um, which is a very different world from that of the 19th century Russia of Tolstoy and Dostoevsky. So Platonov, you can find his works on Amazon, and you'll find them in some used bookstores. I don't know if you'll ever find them in other bookstores, but I've come across a few of them, and they're just uh, the the personality, the subdued personality of Platonov makes him utterly fascinating to me, um, and his ability to tell a compelling story in very matter of fact manner. He's not, he's not going to make you laugh. He's not going to make you love Russia. He's not going to make you love anything. But I think the bottom line with Platonov is his conviction, his belief in the goodness of life itself, that even though life is full of horrible things, that it's worth living. And so I highly suggest you look out for Platonov's writings. And what I can do to make him a little bit better known is, well, is something well worthwhile.